Which I could, no, don't even, we're not even.
You're live.
We're live. We're live at 11:05. I was not here yesterday, but I watched the video Josh put up. It was on, who was that? Do you remember the customer?
Yeah, Dave up in New York.
Dave up in New York. It was about putting a 4-speed into a car, and I had not seen the video and not seen that car, and boy, I watched it this morning. If you're even close to thinking about a 4-speed in your T-bucket, I would highly recommend you watch that video. Very informative. He did a great job. Dave, if you happen to hear me say that, kudos. I mean, awesome. Very good. We got another video, Dave, from Oklahoma that did a 4-speed that we did a video on years back, and that's another informative one if you can find it. I'm still trying to catch up from not being here yesterday, so I've been running around. I looked around, and Eddie's put an interior in a 34, and I know we had a request for interiors on a 34 last week or 2 weeks ago. We don't have the door skin on this one yet, but we got the inner skin. It's on. Hinges are on. You can kind of see from the back side, we put some wood in. There's a panel there. This will all be upholstered. It gets a latch and that gets all done. And then once we get the latches in, at that point we put the outer skin on, but we're waiting for the latch actually. We don't make that. But we will be soon. We're going to make our own here. We can't be waiting. So Eddie's been working on this one.
We'll go the other
Yeah,
side.
can you get in this way? He put some panels in here. You can kind of see these snap in. Get stuff apart here. But these panels snap together. These pins just push in. You can see. He's got wood put around, and these holes are where the panels are going to snap in. So it does require a wood kit. You can see up here there's wood. And I don't know if you can take your camera here, or give me the camera. There you go. Hey, you're looking pretty good. Up a little bit. Hey, if we do this, you're going to, oh, he's holding it too tight. We almost got a picture of Josh. It didn't happen. But the panels go up over there on the top here. The way we do it on this one, now this is about a 1/2-inch piece of Plascore, which is a plastic in between there, so you can put it short a little nib, and you can kind of see on the back of this, they don't push out. They got a shorter one than this, but if you get one that don't push all the way through your car, you can make a roof panel like this and upholster it and snap it in. But in the case of this one, let me get this back up here so I don't get busted for tearing his stuff apart. This will be glued in. He'll build a panel, put some foam behind it, sew whatever design it gets into it, glue this panel in. It'll come down, then these panels will snap on top of that. This will have foam on it and material on it. It'll wrap around there so it'll cover and make kind of a garnish around your window. Door panels will be the same way. They'll snap on after the fact. There's a couple ways to do the door on the 34. There's a trim ring that can go around here that can be painted, or we take and make this very slick, and we can just paint this with the door and then put that door panel up to this, and I really like that look. It's clean. Where the original would have that screwed on piece, it could be done either way. We generally will make a door panel that goes on this, it'll lip onto this, snap on, it'll have a handle. You got this looks like this one's got power windows and power locks to open the door. I have made an overhead console. Now here's the trim panel for the inside here. So you can see how this kind of goes around. It will snap into here. Once it gets upholstered, we'll just snap in. Now this is not just cardboard. This is a upholstery board. It's waterproof, and you can see on the back how he's got this rounded. He just takes and kind of puts some razor blade slits in it to kind of relieve it. So he relieves it, and it can bend around, and it will hold this shape. And these pins will be covered over, so when you snap it in, they just push in. It's kind of like a Christmas tree. It's a one-way. As it pushes in, it holds itself, and then you can just pry it out. They last quite a long time, but the more they go in and out, it will wear out. But the odds of you ever wearing one out on taking your interior apart a dozen times, it's not going to happen. This particular car, we've made we have several different panels to go overhead here. So this overhead counts, so this car gets a radio. So we took and widened it, and we've got it just wide enough for a radio in here. So he hasn't got this fitted yet, but it's going to fit up in here. Once he trims it all out, it'll fit up and gives room for this radio up here. That way it lets your dash stay clean. Several different ways to attach this. I think we'll do one more video on this before we're done, so you can see it as it's coming together, the upholstery coming together on it. So rather than describe how we attach these, if I get some wood up here and you can get a visual on it. You need to be aware, if you're going to put wipers on it, you got to have room for that and cover it and just different things. So we got wood up in here for a kick panel. Just as upholstery comes together, I mean, this is really what finishes it up. So you gotta, the floor will be carpeted. Seats, I don't know, can we get the Wi-Fi in this room here?
That's right.
Okay, if I lose you, we're now into Eddie's room. This is Eddie's domain here. We use seats, are these out of a Saturn?
No, I don't know where he got those from.
A Saturn works, they're narrow, but these are narrow.
Those are power seats. Saturns don't have power, but
Okay, so these are power seats. If you look around different cars, you need to be a pretty narrow seat on these older cars. 34 is a little wider than that Model A. Model A is very wide. These seats have already been taken apart and upholstered. These are for the tall seats.
and those are out of a minivan.
These are out of a minivan, back seat for it.
A Chevy Venture. It's the middle seat out of the Chevy Venture van.
So that works out pretty good. He pulled the back. This is upholstered now. He's got a little pocket for the back. Upholstered the sides. Real clean. This is for Larry's car. They're just waiting to go in the car. Larry, yes. I know you sent Josh a note last week. Said that radiator's a little bit far forward. Well, you're right. I mean, we did, but we had it moved back all the way by the time you had called. So Larry's got the tall T, the 27. It's coming together really nice. It's actually upside down in the shop right now. We're getting everything fitted to the bottom. We're going to do the body work on the bottom of the floor and just finishing up the rear end. And he's just cleaning up the front end, and that's going to come together pretty quick here. So these seats, look around. You can buy hot rod seats from different companies, and they're quite expensive. Or you can go to the junkyard, measure, do. Looks like this one reclines, goes forward. If the sliders don't work where you need them, you can always take the sliders off, modify them, make them work. You can make them, raise them, lower them, use the existing stuff. Don't be afraid to start with something else and change it into what you need if you need to. Foam wise, we got some panels here. I was showing you the back panel. This one is actually for Model A. So we have a fiberglass panel for this one made up. And it's got those pins put into it, and they're stuck and they're glued, so they're not going to come out. The panel's been upholstered. When it goes up to the window, it's going to be right to the window. It'll fit smack on it. It'll look really clean. If you look, the upholstery has been wrapped around the backside. So it's going to be a very clean edge all the way around it. And then there'll probably be a side panel. I'm thinking it will go like this. Side panel come tuck around. This will tuck on top of that. Just overlap them a little bit to make sure that all your panels are not showing a gap. But we are very blessed to have a good upholstery guy in Eddie, so he can do a custom job. We try not to make everything custom on the cars that we do a lot of. So we offer, I think we offer complete upholstery kits on all the cars we have,
Yes.
don't we? So, I mean, as an example, what would the upholstery kit on this car cost?
I think it's about $3,500.
So you're looking at $3,500. when we do it, if you buy, again, I always reference according to spirit, life according to spirit here. If you would buy this car, as this customer did, we're putting the chassis together. The car will be fitted on the chassis. All the brake lines will be run on the chassis and be ready to go. The car will be on it. He also wanted the interior. So we were able to put the interior together, make sure that these holes all line up. So when we give it to him, we won't have this snapped in hard. It'll just kind of be tucked in where it goes for shipping purposes only. And that way when you get the car home, whether you pick it up or we ship it to you, we'll know your upholstery fit. So the upholstery kit, you can take it out, get your car painted, and then when you're done and you want to go ahead and put your upholstery together, it just snaps in. Carpet would glue in.
The headliner will be attached
Yeah,
permanently.
headliner on this one specifically will be glued in. So when you're, painting it, you need to make sure you mask that off and don't trash it out. But things like that just snap in, that would be, all finished. So for $3,500,
Yes.
you get a professional, and like I said, Eddie does a great job. You get a very professional, it'll stand up in any show, interior. Our 23s, we've got interior package, and it's more of a just drop-in. Just as an example, an interior on the 23 is
$750.
$750, and it drops in. So if you're using these for reference points, I've looked at videos that we've got online that have been online for 10 years. So this is, what are we? We are almost Halloween in 2016. So if you're watching this and it's 2020 or 2025, the prices may have gone up a little bit, but nonetheless, as of Halloween
You should say
2016,
election 2016.
election 2016, and you may be reading about me. I don't know. I haven't done my early voting, but I may do that just because. And if my vote switches from one to another, here's my recommendation for everybody now. Trash the machine. First, call somebody over, and if they don't pull it out of service immediately and believe you, just trash the machine, unfix the fixed machine, and then have somebody video you do that so we can have it go viral. All right, so we want to see this to get some big press, and I'm sure we can set up a fund to help pay your expenses, so we'll work on that. So if I see that happen, and I had the idea this morning, so I can claim the credit for that idea, so I'll be glad to go talk to anybody about it. So anyway, go vote. As the Democrats would say in Chicago, where I'm from, vote early and vote often. Yeah, that was the common saying in Chicago. So anyway, there's my politics for today. I think that's over the line, isn't it? Didn't I go over the line?
No.
I apologize if I've offended anybody. So pass it on. Hopefully we got a good thought here. I'm going to go about the middle of the book. My good friend Ernie, Hot Rod Man. Did you know in the Hebrew language, this is me, there is no idea, there is no word, there is no concept for coincidence. So let me see what this says. I've just read the first line. When you focus on scary thoughts, you see a dangerous jungle. But when you focus on happiness, you see a beautiful garden. So I'm looking on a beautiful garden growing in this thing. It's coming together. This is going to be a way cool car. The last couple 34s we've done turnkey. I've just really enjoyed driving them. They're an awesome car. I love it. I like a T-bucket. It gets you out in the air. It's like a beautiful day today. Fall in the Ozarks. Beautiful weather. Watch the trees. You get out there, it's like driving on a motorcycle. So it's going to get cold, and when it gets cold, I like to have a little heat, and power windows aren't a bad thing. So this might be a car you'd like. A Model A is a good one. Lots of great cars. Hopefully you learned a little bit today. Take whatever tips we can give you, apply them to what you're building. Have fun building your car. We're glad you're with us today.